Hello and welcome to CNC-24. Today we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Yogesh Mudras, the Managing Director of Informa Markets in India. He's been leading the company for many years and has played a big role in some of the major events and platforms in the country. He has also led major moves like Hyve India acquisition, which has opened new opportunities in India. Today we will talk about his journey, his leadership style, and how he sees the future of India's business landscape. So without any further delay, let's get started. Hello sir, welcome to the show. Sir, you have led Informa for 10 years. And what are the key moments that shaped you as a leader?
Of course, it's been a decade now, and I think every year has been a new learning for me. I think with Informa, it's been always something new every year. But if I look at the pivotal moment for me, I think would be that the year when actually we were going through a pandemic situation in the year 2020 onwards. I think that 3 years when the entire industry came to a standstill because we as an industry were an industry which was anti-social distancing. So I think you can imagine the events didn't come. But we had to reinvent ourselves. We had to ensure that the business runs. Our customers get what they wanted. Because customers still wanted a solution because we were driving their businesses in a particular manner. So we evolved ourselves. We created certain things like we went all digital for first couple of years, ensuring that they get their own ROIs through digital investments with us. We started doing virtual trade shows, we started doing webinars, we started doing digital lead generation campaigns for them. So I think something which we really worked for us very well. We in fact won that trust of customer, and in that period, in fact, we still managed to put in a lot of events. I think in 2021, I'm surprised to say in that midst of year when we had the first and second wave, we managed to put 13 trade shows. So we are the only organizer in the country, show organizer who could put 13 trade shows in that year. So that was something which was with the way our team bounced back, managed to create a solution which was totally different, which we couldn't, but we managed to meet our customers' expectations. I think that was something which was really good for me. That was a pivotal point for me in my 10 years, I think, how we could come back. And now after that, I think the business has been really, the way it has bounced back, the rest is history, as I say, because I think events have come back very strongly. So I think as a business, Informa has really evolved much in a stronger format after those 2 or 3 tough years, really.
Right, sir. And let's talk about your journey. How was the shift from CFO to MD, and what was the toughest part of that shift?
Okay, yeah. So I think the best part is being a finance guy, you actually have the pulse of the entire business because when you're the CFO, you get to see the entire business. And luckily in my previous avatars, in my previous companies, I had always been a commercial role, not just a finance role. So I was based in my previous company based in UK for about 1 year. Negotiating with the UK government as a part of things, or the commercial lead. So I had some part of business understanding very well. So and when I joined over here, in fact, in UBM, in fact, I started my career as a CFO in 2010 as a CFO, and immediately within the first few months, I got some business responsibilities. Also started looking at business development. So I started gradually getting that business understanding. But of course, the big transition is always there because when you from a full-time CFO role to a managing director's role, I think you probably have to first take that call that you're no longer a finance specialist alone now. So I think it's leaving what you have in hand, having that courage to say that I'm not a numbers person anymore. I have to drive business. I have to grow the business. I have to understand where I can take this business ahead. So that's something which was the tough decision for me, ensuring that I don't get into the day-to-day numbers, though that comes to me blindfolded also. But then I think for me, I think it was taking that big decision that I'm not going to be looking at it. It's my entire finance team, my CFO, the new CFO is going to look at it. I have to just be out there, and I'm the face of the company. I have to be meeting customers, facing them, creating new business opportunities. I think that was a tough decision for me. So the first 6 months to a year was really a big transformation for me in terms of how it happened, because as finance people, you normally don't face the customers on day in day out. So I think it's getting, and you are when you come into that managing director's role, it's like you are in the limelight. You have to, you are the face of the company. You have to be driving the company. What you speak is the company's, you're speaking on the behalf of the company. So I think those are the big changes which I had to do, and that really changed me as a person, I think. So that first 1 year was really tough for me. But I think that really helped me when I took that decision that I'm not a numbers person. I don't have to look at numbers. That's my CFO now. I'm the face. So that taking that a call on myself to do those kind of things, really.
Very inspiring, sir. Do you have any message to say to the people who are, following your path from the industry?
For me, I think, I have a few examples who are finance professionals who have become business. But normally, if I see, I think it's, for me, I've always been a person who has been very risk-taking. I've always taken risk. I don't have taken risk. Of course, calculated risk, not being a finance person, I always take a calculated risk. Don't take ad hoc risk. But then you should be able to do new things, be innovative, have your thought processes which are pretty open, and just do it. I think if you come back, because if your core is right, I think those incremental things can lead you in a very different manner. So as long as you're cool, like for us, our company, we had a few core events which were pretty settled. So on that basis, I could keep on doing a few new things which now I work. When I look 10 years later, if I hadn't taken those risks at that point of time, probably it wouldn't have led to the growth that we have seen in this last 10 years.
So it's always the risk that you need to start with something.
Of course, and I think I believe myself. I think of myself as a private equity investor. What happens is, as an investor, if you are investing in 10 different things, there'll be, I think, 5 things may not work. 2 or 3 things may be above average. They may give you good returns, and those 1 or 2 things out of those 10 things will give you bumper returns. Now, if you think of that way, if you try different things, then some things may fail, but you are ready to bear that risk as long as those other 3 or 5 things are going to cover it up and give you a bumper return. I think that's something which I have always believed in, and that's how we as Informa are now currently in India in doing about 20 or 30 shows in 16 different verticals. So that's something which, because India being a growth market, if I hadn't looked at those different verticals to grow into, I would have probably been happy. We would have had a very stable growth, but then the phenomenal growth that we have seen in the last 10 years, it wouldn't have been possible.
So you are known to understanding people really well, sir. So according to you, what quality actually matters to you?
Yeah, of course, we are in the people's business. I think we are in service industry, and for us, I think we don't have physical asset. We don't have plant and machinery for any manufacturing company or what you have. I think our people are the ones who are driving our business. So understanding of people is key. How you meet the expectations, how you ensure them, get them to understand your vision of the company, and if they agree to your vision, I think it's like everybody's speaking the same language, and that's what the company sees. So that's something which is very important for me, and that's what probably we have been able to do as a team very successfully. We have a very good senior management and a team that we have, which has been over the years been stable for last 10-12 years now with us. Our next in lines, we have a shadow board who's also been pretty contributive and very stable and very, very talented shadow board. So I think which I have tried to cultivate, where the understanding of people, ensuring that people drive the business, because I alone can't do that or my people can't do it. It's the entire team who does that. It's all about teamwork.
So true, sir. And Informa works in so many sectors, from pharma to jewelry to renewables. Which industry do you think will surprise in next decade?
So I think India is fully a growth market. We currently are seeing it's a 20-year growth story from here. So I think every vertical we are in probably has a lot of growth in it. But if you see some of the sunrise sectors, which probably from our perspective, which we are looking at growing definitely, for me is a business on nutraceuticals that we are doing, Vita Foods, which is a show which really is booming. It's something which is catching, which is, I think it's a very consumer facing thing which is coming up. So that sector is definitely looking at it. Another vertical which we are looking into is the battery show that we do along with our renewable energy show, because while renewable is a big focus of the government, I think storage is another element which is there, and the battery show which we do, it's really phenomenally. I see a lot of growth potential in that sector. So we have invested in that. We're building that brand. We are ensuring that we get the right set of exhibitors, visitors, buyers who come into the event. So for me, I think that's critical, investing rightly. Another vertical which we believe is, I think India is such a huge aspirational and young population is beauty. And we just finished with our largest beauty show that we'll do called Costume Prof. So I think that beauty vertical, I see a lot of growth, because I think there's so much of new products, new investments that are happening, new Indians are getting seeing a lot of international products coming in. So I think that is a segment which I believe it should be.
Has a potential.
Has a lot of potential.
Yeah. Okay. And how is the Hive acquisition shaping up? Can we expect more?
Absolutely. I think that was a big one that we did. And for me, Hive was, it's a very well-managed business, which was similar to us, a UK listed company. And they have some quite a good leading shows. One in the paper industry, which is world's largest paper show. We just finished that last week. And they have shows in audio and lighting industry, which is again Asia's largest shows that we do, plus some other industrial shows. So we were looking at that business for quite some time, and they have some very good team members, a very efficient team. So very happy that they are part of our business now, and it takes time because it's a sizable business, and it's taken over 6 months now to integrate that in us. So they have the entire processes and the systems have got integrated now. Physical integration has partially happened in Mumbai and Delhi is in Q1 of 2026, and when we do the physical integration of both our teams. So we have already started seeing a lot of synergies of this combination of Informa and Hive business, because there are certain things, there was an overlap, like some of our construction verticals and their roofing verticals. So we are seeing those verticals of packaging and paper. So I think we are seeing a lot of those synergies building in our business. That there are a lot of best practices that both of our companies had. So we have actually taken benefit. So we together it's been 1 + 1 3. That kind of growth story is what we are seeing in the business.
Okay, sir. And how do Informa's energetic shows help building the trust, the community, and the real business impact?
So I think show is something which is you see as a culmination of 3-day event that you see what is there. But I think there's an year-round work that happens to make that show happen, and it's actually a community, because it's something which you can't really miss, because that's the entire industry is there over those 3 days in that event. And we work through the year to ensure that it makes it happen. The who's of the industry are there. So there's a lot of back-end work happens through the year. And we as a team are working really hard to ensure that we give that kind of value to our stakeholders, be it an exhibitor, be it a buyer, distributor, dealers, whoever it comes in who's involved in our event. So as soon as our event this year goes off, we start planning for the next year's event. So that's what we say. Our events are community builders. They give a lot of once you come to an event, it's not just business, because you grow your business, definitely you make new contacts, you are able to grow your revenues, but beyond that it's more of knowledge, networking, getting those new products which you see, innovations on the show floor, lots of things which we do at our event. So I think something which somebody told me is very, very an interesting thing. So when the events didn't happen, probably the business still, when in the pandemic, the business still used to happen. But then if an event happens, nobody can miss it. So it's that kind of FOMO kind of thing, because when you create those kind of industry events, I think if you're not seen, you're not a part of the industry. So I think that's the level of industry, the events that we put in, that each and every person from that industry feels included, wants to be there, and ensures that and many of our industries or shows, I would say, I have been part of the industry growth story. So be it from pharma or energy, I think our shows have been as long going for 18 years, 20 years now, I think. So the industry has grown along with the show. So we are happy that our shows become catalysts for the growth of the entire economy or those particular verticals also, really.
Okay. And Informa is going to be completing its 20 years in India, right? So what has this journey taught you?
Yeah, I think I joined this company in 2010. So I have not been part of the first 5 years of this company, but I think the most important in which this I've been now this balance 15 years. I've been very much a part of this, integral part of this, is patience. I think patience and perseverance does pay because initial years were tough when in the UBM as UBM or Informa we came into this business in India. I think initial years it does take time to set up, establish, and if you are have a right product, if you stay invested and build your brands, ensure that you give value to your customers. It's not just about your pianos or anything, but invest, build a brand, create the right set of product, right set of audience for your exhibitors, ensure that their businesses prosper, they get those right set of meetings, they get those right set of networking opportunities or knowledge opportunities. I think if you invest in that, they stick to you. They stick to you in the long run, and they will be there. And that's what I think has been the learning. So for us, it's all about brand building, ensuring that what we deliver to customers is more than what they invest in us. So that's something which is a big learning for me. We always have to give back more than what you expect your customers to give.
Okay, sir. Looking ahead, what excites you the most about the India incorporation and what concerns you?
I think exciting is the overall. As I said, I think we are in a 2 decade or multi-decade growth story right now in India. I think we are going to be seeing growth. We are the fastest growing economy on this planet right now, a large economy, I would say, and I think that's going to continue. And it's all entirely because of the demand which is being generated by our own huge aspirational population, which is getting affluential, and there are so many things which will need. The infrastructure needs. The government is also putting the right focus on infrastructure and other development. So rather than any subsidies on it, so I think that's a good sign because it will only help our. I believe that's the positive side of the economy. For me, I think. The challenge is finding the right set of people to run business. I think that's the biggest challenge because talent. I think though we have a huge, I would say we are a demographic dividend of huge people that's available in India. But I think the talent is only X which is available. So I think we all chase that X talent. So we need to build a talent pool. That's very vital if the businesses are to grow. And that's not just my industry. I think it's a problem across every industry in India right now. Finding the right set of people to run the business as well. Of course, when you're talking of AI and the generation of AI, definitely there are certain people who team roles which will get redundant, but of course there are certain roles which are getting created. So if we get people who are talented enough to pick up those right set of skills, I think our businesses will continue to grow, our economy will continue growing, our industry will continue to grow.
Okay, sir. And finally, if the Yogesh of 2036 would have to message you at the present time, what it would be?
Oh wow, 36. That's 10 years from now. I would say I think continue. I think we are Yogesh, you are in a growth market. Continue the way you are running it. I think continue investing in your products. Continue taking those new challenges and new domains which you will find. And I'm sure there will be few things which will work out. Few things won't work out, but I think continue that thing, and you will have a right formula to succeed.
Okay, sir. And lastly.
Of course, lastly, one more thing before that is take care of your people.
Yeah.
That's very important.
So, lastly, I would like to ask you if any message you would like to give from the Informa or Hive acquisition to our viewers.
For me, I think from Informa perspective, I think we are there to meet expectations of our customers and ensure that we drive your businesses. I think thanks to all our customers or our stakeholders who have trusted Informa, and there are better days coming. We are actually becoming a bigger company now. There are some few things like we have working with a joint venture with the Dubai World Trade Center. So a lot of new things coming up. So keep watching this space. We will definitely have a lot more in store for you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mudras, for this insightful conversation. And thank you so much to our viewers. We would be coming up with new stories, new inspiring, thoughtful person stories, and industry voices only on CNC-24. Thank you for bearing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.